We're always trying to find you guys the coolest toys, and today we found Jimmy Adams with Featherlite coaches. What is going on here, sir?
Good to see you, Andrew.
Likewise.
This is a Southern Country Custom. A brand new motorcycle, comes from our good friends down in North Carolina. Rusty Wallace and his son, Steve Wallace, build these masterpieces, and this is their new masterpiece from Featherlite coaches, specifically for Rusty and his wife, Patty. We're really excited about this coach. Wanted to show you this amazing hot rod they built and then show you what the Featherlite team has come up with.
Yes, sir. Well, we're really excited to see the brand new body style Prevost Featherlite. But man, this bike is catching our attention. And Rusty Wallace, I actually met up at Sturgis, where I met you. Yep. You guys have been riding together for probably over a decade now.
Yes, we have. Rusty's an old friend, loves motorcycles.
Featherlite coaches from Jimmy Adams, just a great friend of ours, a big motorcycle enthusiast.
He's the real McCoy. You're talking about a NASCAR Hall of Famer, but he and Steven have become great friends. We come out and support the Rusty Wallace charity ride up in the Black Hills every year for NASCAR Children's Charities. So we get a bunch of seat time with those guys and we motorhome together. So really excited to be on a Southern Country Custom from the Wallace's shop, and we're super pumped to have them in a brand new Featherlite.
Heck yeah. Well, Rusty Wallace is an absolute class act. I had the opportunity to work for him when I was washing coaches, and he is an absolute down-to-earth, just a great guy. And we actually had a chance, some of the early viewers on YouTube may remember when I was interviewing you early in the Sturgis days. I got a chance to interview his son, Steven. And then also Rusty's been a guest on the channel a few times.
Jimmy Adams and Jeff Williams with Featherlite, after I bought the coach from them.
Really got to thank Rusty for all of his support over the years, but I think we've got a really cool coach to show the folks today.
Yeah, can't wait to show you. This coach is a quad slide Featherlite. It's on the latest Prevost H3 chassis. It's a 100 edition coach as well, which makes it special. And then, as you'll notice on the exterior, it's got that throwback to his Blue Deuce with the beautiful pearl whites and that blue from a lot of what he ran on his racing Winston Cup race cars.
Yes, sir. I think you guys are going to want to watch this whole video because Jimmy has a lot of wisdom to share with us. Really looking forward to showing you guys this coach. We see the 100th anniversary edition Prevost below the Featherlite badge. I like that backlit Featherlite badge on the exterior. But what else is going on with this brand new Featherlite coach?
So it's a 100th anniversary edition, which was really cool to celebrate. Prevost having been in business for 100 years, building amazing product. So there have been a lot of activations happening all year. They had a huge homecoming to the factory up in Quebec, Canada. So we all participated in that. So this is, just a special shout out to Prevost for their heritage. And this has got all of the latest and greatest stuff on it, as far as all of the new Prevost Volvo safety suite. It's got all of the new Prevost electricals on it, and it's got a bunch of new tricks from Featherlite.
Now, I've got a lot of questions to ask you about the new body style Prevost, but this front end has really stepped up. And again, that backlit Featherlite badge just really sets it off nicely. Thanks. What else is new with the new Prevost shell?
So this is the new 9660. The front end is completely new and different. I know you've started looking at this, but it's from an aero standpoint. It's actually it's narrow in the front, so it's more streamlined. It's got this really cool new headlight cluster with the light pipe on it and the HID headlights, HID driving lights. We've got the new Prevost badging on it. As you look up, you'll see part of our 360 camera package and our fully integrated front fairing. So we have built our own tooling to make the composite fairings to blend the lines of the coach into the roof-mounted awnings. So the goal here was to keep that really beautiful line that the coach comes with from the factory and make this look like it's OEM. It's not like, as though it was not put on here at Featherlite, like it was delivered directly from Prevost that way. So I think what we've accomplished here is really just the lines on the coach are totally uninterrupted, and it gives it a really sleek and integrated look.
Yes, sir, and with that more aerodynamic stance, does that affect the fuel mileage at all?
It helps the fuel mileage. It looks cooler, and it actually it's better on on the fuel consumption. So there's a combination of things that Prevost did. They've spent a lot of time with CFD and wind tunnel time to figure out like where can the gains be made. So I think they were seeing close to an additional mile per gallon performance out of the coach, at medium highway speeds, in that 55, 65 zone. So our customers have been very, very pleased with the performance and the looks of this new coach.
Coming around, you talked about that curved, more aerodynamic lines, and I'm seeing more of a curve right in this part of the coach as well.
That's right. So the previous generation coach was pretty well flat side and then a pretty sharp curve here. So now it's a tapered curve front. They did this for efficiency, but also for noise reduction. So there's wind noise that's a factor, and the front curve of the coach, the front edges was one of the biggest points that caused wind noise. So all of the gasketing on the windshields, this new design windshield, has all been revised in the wind tunnel for noise reduction as well as fuel efficiency. You also see the new design exterior mirrors. So this coach is pre-wired for e-mirrors from Prevost. Rusty chose good old standard mirrors just because a lot of customers choose the same thing. They're very accustomed to that, but we pre-wire for Prevost e-mirrors. When you're ready, you can easily make the changeover.
Yes, sir, and as smooth of a ride as the Prevost Featherlite was before the new body style, I can only imagine how smooth this is, always improving. And on that note, Featherlite Coaches is a very well-known name in the luxury motor coach industry. How long has Featherlite been in business, and how long have you been affiliated with Featherlite?
The genesis of Featherlite Coaches in the mid-90s, it was really when a boat builder, yacht builder in Sanford, Florida, bought a Prevost bus shell, put a yacht interior and systems in it, brought it to the Fort Lauderdale boat show, sold it immediately and started taking orders. So that was Vantari Motor Coach. And as that business started to grow, Featherlite acquired them. Then we became pretty friendly with Featherlite Coaches and started doing some subcontract work for them, actually building and private labeling XL2 product. And then in the economic downturn around 2008-9, we had an opportunity to acquire Featherlite Coaches, the brand's intellectual property, their book of business, and we moved the manufacturing to this facility that we own here in southeastern Virginia. I've been in the business since late 90s and here on this location since 2004.
Now, what was your affiliation with Prevost before you got involved with Featherlite?
So we were building Prevost conversions under our other brand, Amatis Coach. So Amatis Coach was really known for building executive coaches and VIP type coaches, but then we started building motorhomes, a motorhome product line that was particularly for dealers, and we were selling most of them through Tom Johnson Camping Center out of their North Carolina locations.
So you've been in the Prevost industry for several decades now.
Yeah, when you say it like that, but I feel like I'm still one of the young guys out there, but I've been doing it for 25 plus years.
Yeah, and you look really young, so some of the folks are probably doing the math out there. It's hard to believe, but
well, I think it's the adrenaline. So I try to keep regular dose of adrenaline from my Southern Country Customs, all carbon bike, or driving race cars, skiing. I still love to do fast stuff, and maybe that keeps me a little bit young.
Living that RV lifestyle keeps you young. You're an avid RVer yourself. I know you RV with your family. I've seen you at different events around the country. So as an end user of the coach as well, you really see it from a different perspective.
Yeah, and to be able to do this and make a living doing this, I mean, it's dream come true. So I guess it doesn't feel that much like work. So yeah, keeps you happy, keeps you young.
Yes, sir. We have a lot to be thankful here, being able to check out this brand new Featherlite that's owned by one of the top race car drivers in the world. Now, this is on the H3 platform, and we've seen the Epic Motor Coach, another company that Featherlite represents, that's on the X chassis. What's the difference between the X and the H?
So there are a couple of big differences. First of all, it's going to be the visual appearance. So the X3 has that classic Prevost fluted, polished stainless steel on the exterior. So that's the classic look. The coach is not as tall as the H is overall. It's a little bit shorter coach overall. The bay height, the floor height here and bay height is a bit lower. The interior height is slightly taller. The X makes a really, really good platform to be able to stack bunks. You can get 3 full bunks stacked in that coach. The H is the more contemporary, more modern, sleek exterior. As we talked about the front end with the streamlined look, all composite body on this coach. It is still a full stainless steel cage construction underneath, but it has this full paint, just beautiful designs you can do on this exterior. It just has the most modern and European look to it. So those are the biggest things as far as looking at it from the curb as they go by. The H is going to be taller. The big windows all taller, all full paint body. X3 is going to be a little bit lower, long wheelbase, polished stainless steel.
Yes, sir. The H3 is going to have the biggest bays in the motor coach industry. And one of the things I like about the H is when you're inside with that higher floor, you've got a little higher viewing area as well. So you're seeing the world from a little bit higher view. And then this is a quad slide coach, where the Epic we saw was a double slide coach.
Exactly. So Prevost only offers the X platform in up to 2 slides. The H, we can get all the way up to 4 slides with super slides and even a flat floor slide in the coach. So this coach for the Wallaces is a quad slide, super slides in the rear, and a flat floor slide on the curbside in the salon area. So this has got all the boxes checked. This is an awesome piece.
And are those slides aftermarket, or are those from Prevost?
Good question. So for many years, Featherlite coaches, we built our own slide rooms. And that was because Prevost nor Valid didn't offer the type of configuration that we really wanted. One of our most popular floor plans was what we call bath and a half, with super slides in the forward position and the master bath aft. That wasn't available. If you wanted to do a rear master bath like that with Prevost slides, you had to take the small rear slide rooms. So we were building super slides in the forward position to allow us to do that floor plan. And when Prevost went to redesign their slide room systems, they basically consulted the converters, including us, and particularly us, said, how do we get your business back on the slide rooms? And that's what we needed. They accommodated, and that is what this coach is equipped with. So the super slides, forward position that allow a large rear master bath.
All from Prevost.
All from Prevost. So this is the new Prevost slide room.
I can see how you as a converter would prefer that. Prevost's doing it all in-house at Prevost to the highest level of standards, as we know with Prevost. Now, what is it about the Prevost shell that makes this the desired platform to convert into a motorhome?
Andrew, first and foremost, safety. Prevost is owned by Volvo. Volvo is known for their commitment to safety. The Prevost now features all of the very latest Volvo safety suite, everything from the adaptive cruise braking, the lane departure systems. This coach will actually apply the brakes for you. If you are not paying attention and coming up on stop traffic, it is going to slow the coach down to take care of the occupants. It also has to pass DOT rollover test. And Prevost, to meet the commercial carrier requirements, the structural integrity of the Prevost safety cage construction, it's unparalleled, unmatched. So just an amazingly safe platform, almost a vault for my family to be in, that gives me the highest level of confidence when I'm on the road. You know, I don't worry too much about my driving, but I worry about those people that are looking at that little screen when they're supposed to be looking out the windshield. So it could be a tough world out there, but this is such a safe platform to be riding in. It is built out of stainless steel, cage construction, true monocoque. This is designed to be able to go into commercial service and run well over 1 million miles. We recently had one of the coaches we upfitted come in for service out of Texas, had 1.3 million miles, original cabinet work, original fittings in the coach, and was looking to have upholstery work done. So the chassis was just rock solid. And I'm happy to say that the conversion work we did hung right in there with it. But you're just not going to see that kind of duty cycle from a Class A or anything else. But again, the Prevost is also at a different price point because the platform is just so robust. It's more expensive, but it has tremendous value.
Yes, sir. The Prevost is definitely known as the king of the road.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing, the safety and building coaches that have the longevity where we're seeing them well over 1 million miles over and over. And it's not like that's a one-hit wonder. I mean, we see million-plus mile Prevosts all day, every day, especially in the more, tour bus and transportation side of things.
Yeah.
So, do you think we could take a closer look at Rusty's coach here?
Absolutely. He's given us the go-ahead to get a look around. Really so appreciative Rusty and Patty for that, because I am so proud of what they have done with their design and allowing us to get a quick peek.
Well, what's going on in the bays here?
Okay, well, let's take a look. We can start from bay one. One quick thing to point out, obviously gorgeous Prevost paint on this coach. One of the things Featherlite does is we come through and paint out every door handle on the coach to match the paint scheme. So typically, you're going to see these delivered to the other converters with a black finish on the handles. We're painting them all out to match.
And that's every Featherlite?
Yes, yeah. Unless someone says, "Hey, we really don't want it. Can we get a credit?" Then we'll take that off. You're talking about six-figure paint scheme on one of these. I just can't understand leaving these in like a black factory finish.
Well, and they bring the design through the handles here, so you can see, that silver stripe goes through the handle.
You see your fuel door release is painted. This was normally going to be an ABS, black ABS, so this is all painted in the metallic blue. Same thing, just to make it all blend in. And obviously very high level paint, fully, wet sanded, buffed. It's just beautiful. Paint, finish.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I met you when I was helping wash your coaches back in the day. And the heavy metallic here, that metallic just really glows, just really takes the depth of that paint scheme to another level.
Definitely. So we add a few extra touches, like the clear lens marker lights with the colored LEDs, the chrome bezels on them, then our stainless steel polished trim kit on here. So just really nice, sleek exterior lines, not trying to do anything to take away from that, but just make everything look integrated.
And does Rusty have a new Southern Country Customs bike painted to match this yet?
I think he will probably have one in time for the charity ride at Sturgis.
Well, Rusty, we want to see the new bike. Hopefully we can catch that bike here in the future sometime.
Yeah, we want to get as many of your viewers out for the Rusty Wallace charity ride at Deadwood as can come. We have a great crowd out there. You should come join us and support a very good cause.
Yeah, and I've got to tip my hat to Rusty, just a great guy. When I was just an RV detailer, really treated us with respect, but he also does a lot of philanthropy like that, really giving back to the community,
yes.
Stuff like that charity ride. So a lot of respect for Rusty Wallace. I'm really excited for him to be able to have a brand new Featherlite. He's living the dream. We're happy for him.
Yeah, we are too. Great people.
Going into the bays here, what's going on the driver's side bays here?
Okay, so starting off on driver's side bays, the very first one is actually what we call the driver's J-box. So you access this from the outside. Behind this panel are all the Prevost electricals. And then below you're gonna see our hookup for air, and then our separate Blue Sea fuse panels for the items that are DC powered up here at the driver's area. You've got your your windshield washer fluid and so forth there, and then you have your releases to be able to gain access to the storage behind the front bumper. And there's also a front service panel that opens up and lets you get to the back side of the dash, so you don't have to disassemble anything on the inside of the coach to be able to service dash related items. So that's a new feature that Prevost's offering.
Yeah, they're always thinking ahead of how to make the experience better for the end user.
Yeah, absolutely. So coming now to driver's side bay one. This is a flipper door, so it hinges forward because there's a slide room above. So you need to be able to have clearance with the slide room out. This is a full pass-through bay with a remote-controlled electric slide tray, all aluminum. This is high capacity slide tray, but unusual, I think, to have as much storage as you're going to see in this coach from any other converter of the Prevost age. So nice slide tray, all aluminum. It's got the really nice woven vinyl flooring on it. And then you can see in the bay, we've got a telescopic ladder that's available. If you needed to get up on the roof of the coach, every unit's gonna come with a ladder on board. And then you see your Featherlite director's chairs up against the forward bulkhead there. The bay is fully finished in an epoxy rhino liner type coating just for longevity. And the ceiling of this bay, this is the Prevost slide room system. So I can trigger this and gain access to all of the ECU controls and the air valve controls. As you see the Volvo markings on these ECUs that control the slide room systems on the coach. Bay 2 on the driver's side. You're gonna get another bay with full pass-through storage. So most everybody else I see out there, this bay's gotta be interrupted with something, but we offer an absolute full pass-through storage again in Bay 2. And once again, you've got the really nice remote controlled, heavy duty, dual direction slide out the woven vinyl covering on it. So really simple to use. There's manual switches as well. And in here, you're gonna have your primary electrical distribution. So I'm really proud of the work that our folks do on the electrical panels. All of this electrical package in the coach is all yacht quality electrical. So you see this enclosure, this is your DC distribution panel. It's all in polished stainless steel. A locking panel box here. You can see these are 24 volt DC circuit breakers, 12 volt DC circuit breakers, all Blue Sea systems. And then take a look at the backside. So a lot of people try to hide the backside of what you're gonna see on a wiring system, but I mean, everything is so neat, organized. You might notice this material. This is actually a thread locker, and it's also used to indicate. We torque every single connector and then mark it with the yellow that also acts as a thread locker. So if we see that something is no longer aligned, we know that it's gotten loose somehow. So it gives you a visual indication if anything came loose, but it's there as a thread locker as well to keep that from happening. So everything's been torqued, marked, and thread locked. So again, having a full pass-through bay, the cool thing is I can go right in to access whatever I need. So this is our DC distribution panel that we just took a look at. 12 volt, 24 volt DC. This is the cabinet for the DC switching. So our spider control system, our intuitive control, lives in here. So this is all solid state switching. You have a touch panel that's going to give you feedback. So system is okay. It's basically an evolution of the system we've been using for over a decade. It's been so tried and true for us, and we just get it better and better and better. And now it's so simplified. There used to be rows and rows of DC fuses in here. Now it's all solid state. So all of your switching for your DC loads like lighting, your shade controls, all of this happens right here. Forward bulkhead in Bay 2 is DC power distribution. Aft bulkhead, this is your AC power distribution. So that's like your 120 volt and 240 volt power for household appliances and things like that. So AC power, these are locked. So these you can't easily access these without a tool. Again, it's high voltage, but the same high quality Blue Sea systems breaker setup. And then again, the AC switching modules are here. So we can switch our AC loads. This is high voltage switching. So this allows you the ability to toggle, for instance, air conditioners on and off without having to go through to the thermostat and do it. You can just toggle your air conditioners off if you want to unplug from shore power right from any touch panel in the coach. Water pump if you want to toggle your AC power to your AV just for a quick reset and bring things back up. You could do it straight from the touch panel, and this is the switch gear that makes it happen. So all nicely packaged in here. Basically any kind of power distribution that goes into the house is right here, but we still reserve all of this space for pass-through storage.
Yeah, extremely clean and professional the way you put that together. Very impressive.
Thanks. I'm really, really proud of the work that our electrical team does. You know, being around the business for more than a couple decades now, usually if you got a little issue, you can almost always trace it back to something like a loose wire, a bad crimp, something that wasn't tightened properly, or a bad ground. So we are so laser focused on bringing that to the very highest level, and just proud of the work our folks do.
You've got a few decades of experience, so you're learning every day.
Bay 3, driver's side. So this is basically what we call like the engine bay, much like in a boating environment, again, built out for serviceability. So this is your main DC electric systems and your AC electric systems, in that it's got your twin inverters in there, your DC to AC inverters. It's got all of your circuit protection in there, and it has your generator, your 75 feet of shore cable, the shore power incoming box that's gonna basically surge guard, look at your incoming shore power, judge that it's correct, and allow the coach to connect. So this was set up so that you can gain access. I can go right into this bay and gain access to be able to look at any kind of issues that might be happening. So I've got two Magnum hybrid inverters here. You can see all of our 24 volt primaries coming here. You've got all of your DC to DC step down converters from Victron Energy. So we're primarily running 24 volt electrical from the chassis to the house battery bank. to the inverters. These consume 24 volt and charge 24 volt. Where we do need 12, we just step it down here. So rather than using battery equalizers, which aren't particularly efficient, we just do a 24 to 12 step down right here and keep everything as efficient as we can with the most advantageous wire gauges. By going up in voltage, we can step down wire gauge and save some weight. So this is like our engine bay area. I'm sitting on the generator radiator. The generator is here. Full access panel. It's normal service access is from the other side. It's in a hush box. But if you ever had to do significant service, you've got full access to the back. Pretty rare in this business to see someone not just slam the generator box up against, tanks or anything else. I think we're the only folks that really allow you that type of serviceability access. Inside this shore cord, this is where 75 feet of shore cord is coiled up inside this box and feeds out of the bottom. Well, we use it for two purposes. So this is actually a filtration unit as well. There are two of these filters. So we're bringing cool air into this compartment through filters from the same hole that the shore cord feeds out through. So there are two of these commercial grade HVAC filters here, so that all of my combustion air going into the generator is all being filtered before we utilize it. And along the same lines, we use the fan system off the generator to control the temperature in that bay. So if you are hooked up on shore power, you hit a certain temperature inside there, it'll actually use the same fans that are already on the generator to pull hot air out of the compartment and purge it to the outside.
Yeah, it's just extremely clean, all of your wiring, the way these bays are configured. And I don't know if I've ever seen this type of material in the bays, but that's gonna make cleaning much easier.
Yep, that's an epoxy rhino liner, they call it.
And how long has Featherlite been using that material?
It's been several years now.
Okay.
Yeah, it has. We've done different colors along the way, but we've kind of settled in on this, fairly neutral gray. It's just so easy to clean and take care of. It's an extra step because, we have to tape off and paint the bays entirely before we assemble them, but I think it's worth it. In this box, again, this is being used to store 75 feet of the 50 amp shore cable, is bringing cool air into the mechanical bay, and then it also houses the power monitor for the transfer switch for the incoming shore power. This is the surge guard controller. And then these are your 24 volt DC disconnects. So like your main and then your inverter line in, your inverter line in. So if you need to disconnect inverters and your main DC, bam, you just shut down here, and this is your main breaker for your shore power. So this is gonna make sure your shore power is good. You connect it by throwing this breaker, and this shows what your status is and has a warning light if there is reverse polarity. It will not allow you to connect with reverse polarity.
Yeah, sir, and it's nice that you're able to, cut your batteries off out here. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you've got to go inside of the coach, but when you're out here plugging, unplugging, this is the easiest place to do it. It's
right there. Okay, let's take a look at Bay 4. You see the stainless steel enclosure that's mirror polished down low. That is the largest AquaHot available. This is the touch screen controller for the AquaHot hydronic unit. All of that is replicated on our touch panels inside, but we always put the factory panel here, and you also have the factory manual switches. So if you ever need to override, you have those available. Serviceability is huge for us. This entire panel just pops off so you can gain access to the hydronic heating system to do any work you might need to do from the service side for just regular service. Above that, we've got a toolbox. A lot of our customers want to bring along just a few tools for doing things around the coach. Then we typically are going to include a very extensive spares package. So this is all major fuses, like the 400 amp fuses, 175 amp fuses, all the automotive type fuses, specialty connectors, Wago connectors. You're basically going to get a little electrical package if you ever need to work on the coach or have somebody work on the coach. Anything that's specific to us is going to be included. I didn't point this out, but basically every bay door, you're going to have a GFCI outlet. So a ground fault, 120 volt outlet. And this bay, we also have storage tubes for your dump hoses. So these are taking advantage of the space that's above the Prevost fuel tank. There's dead space between the floor and the tank. So we ran our storage hoses across at an angle with drains to exterior. So you store them here. They're going to be drained and cleaned by the time you get to your next stop. We also have a option to put a pressure washer in the forward end of this bay. This one doesn't have it specified, but that's an option.
Rusty treats the detail guy as well. He doesn't need to wash his own coat.
I'm not trying to make any competition for the detail guys.
Exactly, yes sir.
And you got manual awning controls. They can be done from the touch panels, but these are manual awning controls. Again, redundancy there. Same thing here. This is the slide out control for the driver's side aft. This is all done by touch panel inside, but this is the OEM factory Prevost switch. So we don't like cut that off and just dump it because we're controlling by touch panel. I always want redundant switching capability. So there's the original factory pendant switches are available for every slide rim.
Yes, sir. And did you say there's awnings on the driver's side of this coach as well?
This does have awnings on the driver's side, yeah. So this is a 3-stage carefree awning. So it'll go out, the first stage is a slide room cover, so to speak. Next stage is shading the windows. And then the third stage goes all the way out to a patio awning position. So it's really awesome when we get set up, for instance, out in the Black Hills, you get the full awnings on both sides of the coach. It looks like it's about to take off and take flight.
I think they call those the bat wing awnings when they're out on both sides, and very well lit. I like that indirect lighting, kind of lighting up the area below the awnings.
So we add all of this lighting here. That's not available, not in that color. We're very specific about, having the warm white lighting on our awnings, so we install that here at Featherlite. You can't order these that way.
Yes, sir. Lighting is extremely important, and I can see as we go through this coach, everything is well lit.
Yeah, so we'll go back to bay 5. This is our plumbing bay. So this is on a side panto door. Because again, my thought is, having a front hinge door, some people want to leave this open for a while, while they're hooked up, or to take some time to get things set up the way they want them at the park. So I like the side panto door here. Just again, very clean, very neat. You've got your 2 swivel bucket filler style commercial grade faucet here, gray tank flush, black tank flush. This is your GFCI outlet. This is the main touch panel that controls everything in this area, and I can actually go in and control anything in any spot of the coach. So even from out here, I can control thermostats. Of course, look at my tank monitors. You can basically do anything on the Featherlite coach on the intuitive control from any one of these switch positions. We saw tank monitoring here. This is the hard switch for the tank monitoring, so you've got redundant monitoring here. These are our connections for external antenna input, external internet connectivity, and then this is to retract the hose reel. You've got a hose bib here, again, a marine grade hose bib. The big Headhunter Mach 5 120 volt high flow water pump. We've got a latching door that on the inside has the full wash station. Basically, you've got gloves, paper towels, and a nice soap dispenser. Inside, this is pretty cool. Remember the metallic blue from the outside of the coach? So our copper plumbing manifolds, Rusty wanted to bring that
nice.
little bit of that blue metallic paint and repeat it inside. So custom painted the manifolds for him to match the exterior of the coach.
I thought I had seen it all in a motorhome, but I've never seen a custom painted manifold system. Very cool.
Yeah, so that's your cold on the top, hot on the bottom. So you can cut off each and every circuit. You've got electric bay heat in here. You've got hydronic bay heat, the large Glendenning hose reel. So this is the yacht style hose reel. This has got 75 feet of hose on it with the level wind, so it puts it all back on there nice and neatly. Electric retract. It's got 2 electric dump valves, and then we've got our kind of trademark final linking valve at the end. So I like to be able to use this at the racetrack if I am needing to dump my gray tank and I want to meter how fast it's going out. If a truck is servicing me, this allows you to meter the flow, whereas most everyone else has just got an electric dump valve. The electric dump valve is on or it's off.
Yes, sir.
So I can turn it on and then set it at half flow. The other thing I can do is if I run out of space, I will close this. I can open both tanks and they'll equalize. Like if I have a full black tank and a quarter gray, I can make it act as one big tank. And when I get back to base, I'll do a flush, go back to normal operation. So that's been a lifesaver for me in many many different circumstances. It's usually at a racetrack where I don't have dump facilities.
Yeah, if you want to do some dry camping, this is definitely the right machine for it.
Yeah, it's really well equipped for that. It does have an accumulator also. So,
yeah, what is that? Yeah.
So basically, the Headhunter water system is designed for a yacht application. So it checks a lot of the boxes for us for performance, but they also suggest using an accumulator. So what that does is it builds pressure in the system, and it doesn't require the pump to fire like every time. If you just open a faucet momentarily inside to get some water, it's not going to require the pump to turn on. So it keeps the system pressurized, and basically it makes the service of the pump much less lumpier, and it also keeps water hammer down. It's a really nice addition to the system, makes the operation that much better. As we pass Bay 5, the plumbing bay, the next compartment for Featherlite is what we lovingly call the pizza oven. So not many people think about this space as usable space, but for us, this was real estate that was really useful because these are the Lifeline AGM batteries, and they easily live in this space. They don't need to be in a conditioned space in the bay of the coach, taking up the most valuable storage real estate. So we had all of this space available, and we come in and reinforce this with stainless steel, set it up as a full battery bay, and then we're able to put our batteries and all of our connections and primary fusing right here in this dedicated space. This is also where the Prevost OEM fire control system lives. So you've got the extra protection from that. And again, it's just, I think our guys being really clever about use of space. They asked me, can we stack 6 batteries in the bay? And I said, we can, but we're not. So we are using what we call the pizza oven to best use for our customers' benefit.
Yes, sir, and I know weight distribution is extremely important.
Yeah.
These batteries are very heavy, so I would assume that being on top of the drive axle, probably good weight distribution.
It is, it helps. So you have a ton of load bearing capacity here on the drive and tag axle together. We weigh every coach, get certified scale tickets on, and we make sure that the weight distribution is correct. So.
And how many total batteries are?
So you've got 6 8D batteries back here.
And then to access this panel, you just had a couple of the technicians come out here and help
that's right.
take this off. But usually it's going to be a technician that's accessing
Usually, but I've done it before. It's rare that you need to come in here, but you can see this is a spring release. You can get it off by yourself, but it's a handful. So prefer to get help from at least one other person so we don't damage the paint.
Yes,
but it's not hard to get at. Just 1, 2, 3, pull out of the tabs, and then you can set the fender skirt off. Last compartment on the driver's side. This is fully vented door, as you see. This comes from Prevost, fully ventilated like this, and that's because your primary bus engine radiator and the charge air cooler are here. So this is a forward pantographing door, and folds right out of the way, and then you can see the full complement of the electric fan drive system. So there are 8 individual fans that are electrically driven and only come on in quantity and intensity as needed by the load. So previously on the Detroit diesel powered Prevost and the early Volvo powered Prevost, there was actually a really large mechanical fan, one huge fan with a mechanical clutch system. It was certainly functional, but the drawback was that fan typically required some serious power. When you engage that fan to cool the coach, cool the engine, it was usually when you're accelerating or climbing. And what we've been understanding is that fan would sometimes consume as many as 70 horsepower.
Wow.
Yeah, so effectively you got a raise here. What Prevost did was set the coach up such that the fans are powered only as they're needed. And for instance, on a climb, instead of kicking in 70 horsepower consuming big mechanical fan, it'll only fire 1, 2, 3, 4, however many fans are needed, and they're only pulling off the battery. So they specifically at peak power requirement, it will not field the alternators to add additional load. It's trying to put all the horsepower to the drive wheels. So again, we didn't raise the horsepower rating of the Volvo D13, but the usable horsepower increased significantly when you're in a situation like climbing or accelerating. So really, really slick technology from Prevost.
Yes, sir. You need all the power you can get when climbing hills in a big heavy machine like this.
Yep.
But earlier I learned from you that also if these fans get built up with like snow or ice, they sense it and turn direction,
they'll
blow
reverse
it out.
blow the snow out, which is really, really interesting. So, just the new Prevost electrical system is so sophisticated to be able to do individual control of the fans, and you can see it at your dash. It's going to tell you what percentage they're running, so you know like what the engine load is looking like, and then if they actually foul with snow, they will reverse themselves and clear themselves. So really intelligent system here.
Coming around the back of the coach, the rear cap here is a very sleek look, really fits this shell.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that because that's what we're after, is that sleek, integrated OEM look. It drives me crazy when I see, some of the less thoughtful, fairing packages. They look like some type of a body kit that's been tacked on. So the idea here was really use the OEM style, make this look like this was from the factory, although we did all this work. So we built these molds, we do all the composite work in-house, and the idea is just to give it super aerodynamic, integrated look.
Yeah, it really turned out well, and then there's also some cool underglow lighting here. It looks like that's in the engine bay.
Yeah, so we've got some accent lighting around the coach underneath and also in the engine bay. So of course blue is the best color for this coach, but you can change this to any color you want. I mean, in this coach you can go through the whole color wheel, so we can set it for red, white, whatever you want. So I'm going to open this up so we can get a look at the D13 Volvo. So here's a Volvo D13. The electric fans are pulling air across the coach, and you'll see a ventilated door on this side that's exiting hot air. We set this coach up with 24-volt alternators from Prevost. So you'll see the alternators here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 alternators on the coach. 2 dedicated to the chassis. The others are dedicated to the house. So we're charging those house batteries that we saw in the pizza oven above the rear axles with these 150 amp 24-volt alternators. So you're making a significant amount of power going down the road, enough such that the inverters can power 2 of the roof airs at any time. So we have built-in power management on our Spider control, our intuitive control system, and it will basically look at which thermostat is needing, has the highest temperature differential. It'll turn on that air conditioner, but it'll basically run 2 at a time.
And is this coach set up with a lithium battery system at all?
This does not have lithium batteries on it, but you can order the coach with lithium batteries. So we have followed the path of going on a 24-volt lithium option so that we're reverse compatible. You can order a coach with AGM batteries, and we can update it to lithium if you so prefer. You add the lithium batteries, the battery heater elements, and then the battery management system, or you can order it with lithium ion, and then if a future owner does not want to run a lithium, or for instance, when it is time to replace them, they're quite expensive, you can replace with AGMs. So it's kind of a reverse compatibility thing where you can go either way if you wish. You don't have to go on a higher voltage architecture and make a major changeover. So it's kind of a plug and play.
Yeah, very versatile.
Yeah, absolutely. Another really nice feature that Prevost includes on the H3 shell is a rear start for the engine. So this is your emergency start back here, but a technician can come back and be able to crank the bus engine without having to go back and forth in and out of the interior of your coach. So as they're trying to do whatever type of adjustments or diagnostic, you've got a rear start for the engine right here. Very helpful. We've got some additional real estate available here. This is the ventilated door from Prevost, like we talked about, but we've got space here where quite often someone will want to take advantage of this by putting in a large pressure washer. So we've got space on driver's side to put like a smaller road wave, but if you want the big commercial grade pressure washer, this is where it would live.
And right now you just have it opened up. That's just more airflow for the engine.
Exactly. Yep. Because the engine operating temperature is the latest emissions control. They're quite a bit higher than the pre-emissions engines. So, I think these engines operating temp is closer to 190, 200 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're seeing some significant heat through this compartment. The other thing you'll see here is another, as I mentioned, another GFCI. So 120 volt outlets in every bay. That's kind of nice if you want to connect to charger for your car, connect to your trailer, or we can offer 50 amp connection there to go to your trailer, 30 amp, 50 amp, whatever you need.
So a buddy plug is an option.
Absolutely.
If you like it.
We used to do buddy plug standard, but again, a lot of people didn't use it, and so they were saying, why, I want to spec it without it. I don't want to pay for it if I don't need it.
Understandable.
As we're coming up the patio side of the coach, this 6th compartment is actually key access, because this is the Prevost chassis electrical J-box, as they call it. So underneath this cover, there are 2 high-performance AGM batteries for the chassis. Now again, this is part of the new Prevost electrical on the chassis. So they used to run a regular lead-acid battery there. As we were talking about, the way the alternators can be programmed to take all of their load off when you're climbing and needing all the power available, they can also go to full load when you're coasting down a hill. So you're looking maybe for engine braking. There's energy to be harvested there, so the electrical system can tell these alternators full field, make full output. It adds to the engine braking, and you're harvesting that energy and putting it back into the chassis batteries and the house batteries. But that type of charge profile, regular flooded lead acid batteries will not hold up. So Prevost puts the high performance AGM batteries on every new shell. So they live under here. We take upgrade option on the chassis battery charger. So it's got this large Xantrex charge system on it, and that's from Prevost. That's the way we order the shell. Then we add a few of our circuit protection in here where we basically link the house batteries to the chassis batteries. That's a circuit breaker for our link between the two. So we can basically take the house batteries if your bus batteries went dead because you left something on unintentionally. You can flip a switch at the dash, merge the house battery power to the chassis battery, and get yourself cranked right away.
So basically jump start yourself off your other batteries.
That's it. You've got the battery power available, so we use it. But it all has to be circuit protected, because that is a very high amperage when you look at what they call inrush current. When you hit that starter to turn over that 13-liter engine, tremendous amount of amperage. So we have to use up-gauged cables and the highest level circuit protection. Bay 5 on the patio side. This is normally, most people have it as a plumbing bay, but this is our patio AV system. So a nice, thin, Ultra HD smart TV, Sonos soundbar, big Sonos subwoofer. So love this setup for tailgating, entertaining outside. It will rock. Next panel you see here, ventilated panel from the factory, from Prevost. This is where the driver's Prevost over-the-road air system is. So it's in this bay. You've got your fuel filler here. Again, you see our custom flip cap that goes over the fuel filler. So this is actually a setup, again, where we paint it out to match. It's normally just a black plastic finish, and there's access to your fuel tank. So 222 gallons of diesel is what it has capacity for. And again, you're thinking about 7 miles to the gallon. It's got pretty long legs. You can make a big dent in a cross-country trip on 1 tank of fuel.
Yes, sir.
Next bay, this is kind of a split bay, so the driver's air conditioning is there. We take what's left of this bay and put it to use. So the bulkhead we add here, hiding behind this, it's easily removed. You see the fasteners. That's the DEF system. So the Prevost DEF system is behind there. And then we use this for a refrigerator freezer to live here. So you see a little air vent here. This is actually an air intake. So we're pulling hot air out of this compartment so we get best performance from this refrigerator freezer. It's an Engel refrigerator freezer. Right now it's set at 38 degrees Fahrenheit. That is what Rusty believes, and I agree, is the perfect temperature for a cold Miller Lite. So you've got the chest type freezer with the basket that pulls out. A lot of people will use this also to freeze steaks and things like that for when they're going to be pulled into the park for extended period. You got your extra freezer space here. And then you've got manual awning controls. You've got the thermostatic control for the ventilation system here. And then again, every bay has got a GFCI 120 volt outlet available for power, so you can plug in whatever kind of appliance or tool you're wanting to use there.
Talking about those awning controls, the manual awning controls, you think we can put the awnings out on this side to see the bat wings?
Yeah, sure. Let's get the full wing spread out on this baby. Coming up to bay 3 here on the patio side. So this is a flipper door. It's not that often that we're using this. It's got some storage in here, but the main thing you're going to see is the integrated hush box with the polished stainless steel doors. This is that 20 kW PowerTech generator. So we saw the backside access to this generator when we were in the what we call the engine bay on the other side, but just super neat packaging. This PowerTech has been just a workhorse for us for years, and it's riding on airbags. So inside a hush box, on airbags, we even add additional rubber isolation mounts on the exhaust flange. Do everything we can to keep that NVH to an absolute minimum. They run great. We get such good response from our customers on these 20 kW PowerTech gensets.
Proven machine that's been used for generations now. How long has Featherlite been using those big 20 kW PowerTech generators?
Gosh, you know, when we acquired Featherlite, they were actually running 17.5s.
Okay.
And it's a similar packaging size, a similar end, and we could get 20 kW for not a lot more money. We decided to just bump up. I want the additional capacity, and we put 20 kW on all the coaches.
Yes, sir.
Coming up to bay 2 and bay 1 on the patio side. So these are used often. Our customers use these, and we really were the guys that developed the what we call gull wing door setup here. So these are side pantographing doors. A lot of people have the grill, the outdoor kitchen and bar. We often set up here and they slide out, leave these doors open. So we actually had identified this type of swing door mechanism. Prevost had it for the seated coach wheelchair lift door. So, you know, from our work with Prevost seated coaches, we recognized the door, we ordered our shell with it, but it only went in one direction. So it was a left opening. So the right opening, we basically put into our CAD system, mirror imaged it and designed it, and we built it and welded it up ourselves. And then over time, Prevost agreed to engineer it and begin to offer it on the shell. So that was, its genesis was with Featherlite, and you might see some other folks starting to use this because it's super popular, but our guys did it the hard way, and now it's becoming something that's really popular in the industry. So really proud of the gull wing doors, and again, Rusty didn't choose to add the bar in the kitchen out here, but that's a very common option. Slide your bar and kitchen out, doors are tucked out of the way. It's really, really nice setup for the tailgate.
Yeah, very clean, always pushing the motor coach industry to make the experience better for the end user.
That's right, and the end users push us. I mean, they're always asking for more, and we're willing to do it. I mean, I think we're one of the few shops that'll really do anything the customer can dream of. Sometimes our guys, you know, it stresses their patience a little bit. Sometimes they say, you know, we put the cuss in custom, but no, we really do a high level of customization. We're happy to do it because it makes us better.
Well, and I know these customers have the highest level of standards. Now, one thing I'm noticing right now, well, we have these awnings out right now, and this bike is just where we left it for the intro.
Yeah, man.
This is actually outside the rain or the hail. I know when you guys go up to Sturgis, it's common to have rainstorms or hailstorms. So if you want to keep the bikes under cover here, you're all set up for that.
Yeah, it really works well. So we'll line the bikes up, keep them out of the sun, out of the weather. These coaches are just perfect for that week out in the Black Hills.
And then coming back to the front bays here, so this is primarily going to be storage. We talked a little bit on the other side about what's going on in these bays.
So full pass-through storage. Again, you've got your remote control slide out here. So this will run out and full extension, full capacity. It'll go in either direction. So this is the heaviest duty aluminum slide that's available from our vendor Slide Master. We do a few things to it, like add a stainless steel trim kit on the forward edge.
And with the Featherlite logo right there.
We try to have that little extra touch. You're going to see it on all those polished stainless steel enclosures. Beautiful polished stainless, a tasteful Featherlite coaches emblem on them. Same treatment on these slide outs on both bays.
And your body weight isn't even budging that tray, even when it's in the all the way out position.
They are really stout. So if you look at the section on this aluminum extrusion they make the sidewall from, this is not like just angle or flat bar. This is a full extrusion that's got significant amount of strength to it. So it'll easily support outdoor bar, outdoor kitchen. And that's, again, a very popular option. The most popular ones, I remember we launched at Tampa Super Show in Florida. It was like a full Margaritaville deal with the integrated blender on it, plus push button bar. Really fun.
Yeah, not only do you guys know how to build a coach, but you guys know how to party. There's no question about that.
We don't have to look far for a good time.
Well, that exterior is extremely impressive, but I think there's a lot more we can learn from you while taking a look inside. Do you think you can show us the interior?
Absolutely. Can't wait to show you the inside. I think you're going to love it.
Awesome. Well, this is an honor to get a sneak preview of Rusty Wallace's brand new coach before he's taking delivery tomorrow.
Yes.
And you just got off the phone with Rusty and we got confirmation of the name of this coach?
Yeah, so that is one of our traditions at Featherlite. Goes back to the whole yacht building genesis of the company. So on our custom build coaches, we always name our coaches like people name boats. And then when the owners come, we do a christening ceremony. So been pushing Rusty a little bit like a yacht building. This was project named Catalina. And now we know we're going to christen it Blue Deuce for Rusty and Patty Wallace. So really excited. Christening happens tomorrow afternoon and you all are getting a sneak peek before even they do.
Yeah, really exciting moment for Rusty and Patty, and maybe you guys can get some pictures tomorrow. We're going to be gone by the time they get here, and we saw a big bottle of champagne ready for them.
So hopefully I get it right, because my job is actually to saber the top off of the champagne when we christen it, because we don't want to smash it across the bow. So we saber the champagne off and have a toast, to wish good luck and good travels to the customer. So we'll get some pictures and send them over to you.
Yeah, look forward to seeing that. And then the name Blue Deuce, I'm assuming is an inspiration from Rusty's old race car?
Yeah, he had a lot of luck, obviously, and a lot of good fortune, a lot of great performances racing, and he had a special relationship with certain cars. And I know he always used to call some of the Miller Lite branded cars. There was one that was particularly good, I believe, that he called Blue Deuce. I think one of his others previous to that was Midnight. He's got several different ones, but he said, we've decided, looking at this exterior and everything, it's his colors. Blue Deuce is the name of this quad slide Featherlite.
Well, very cool story, and we're really excited to see this coach today. What's the story on, you said it's called Catalina is the build name?
Yeah, so during the build process, we always give them a name until the owner decides, what they're going to be finally christened. But we called it Catalina just because it was really inspired by some coastal colors, light colored ceilings as you see in here, really beautiful tones on the wood grains, some solids on some of the casework, and then you see things like the sisal rug, just a lot of coastal input. So Catalina was kind of the feeling. They spent a lot of time during the winter on the West Coast, and it was kind of channeling that. So it was Catalina, but now it's Blue Deuce. And as you can see, I think hopefully you guys feel it's as light and airy as it feels standing in the coach for us. It's also really wide, so you notice two opposing slides opening this area up tremendously.
Yes, sir. We had to even stand closer together to get both of us. We originally were out of the frame, but going back to the name Catalina, other Featherlite coaches, I remember St. Germain, Mykonos, Telluride,
Zion,
a lot of different inspirations.
Yeah.
What is the story behind naming the different Featherlite coaches?
Again, it's kind of from the yachting side where you always, would name your boat. And in this case, we usually are going to name the coach based on some of the inspiration, like where did we take inspiration for the exterior design and then for the colors and textures on the inside.
Yeah, I definitely feel that Catalina Island vibe. I could definitely see this coach sitting off the coast of California somewhere and enjoying a nice view.
Yeah.
Now, this ceiling design is something a little bit different that I personally haven't seen.
So basically, we call this like our herringbone style ceiling. So we've got multiple different geometric patterns that we'll offer, and they really like this herringbone style. So it kind of feels like it's kind of pulling you into the coach because it's almost like arrows pointing in that direction. It's cool. Just brings a little more interest to the eye, and you've got the contrast between the light creamy colored panels and then the really rich wood grain above it in the reveals.
Yes, sir. You've done something really cool with the table in the booth area that I want to ask you more about. I know there's a lot of cool stuff going on back there, but can we take a quick look at the cockpit area first?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a step up front. I'll show you the cockpit.
Now, the first thing I'm noticing in the cockpit is the pattern in the seats kind of mimic the ceiling design that we just saw.
Yeah, so we try to do some pattern repeat just so you kind of see a theme going through the coach. The co-pilot seat and the driver's seat are both custom upholstered in a really high-end leather. And then we take the center sections, send it out, and have it custom quilted and perforated. So a lot of times you'll see like, a quilt pattern, and now we've got perforations punched in it so that it gives you excellent breathability here. And these seats both have heating and cooling, so you can get the temperature transfer there and stay comfortable all day in either of these seats.
And is that an air ride seat?
Yeah, this is an Isringhausen. It's full air ride with all of the damping controls, lumbar, heating, and cooling. It's got the 3-point integrated belt. Same thing on your co-pilot seat. You've got 2-level heating, massage, pretty much all the bells and whistles on both of these seats. Both have massage and heat and cool.
Going up to the cockpit area, we've got the new updated Prevost dash, but I really like what you did with the AC vents.
Yeah.
Remind me of the AMG Mercedes.
Yeah, so that's always been, I think, one of the cooler automotive interior features that I'd seen, and we were able to take what they call the turbine vent that Mercedes came up with in their AMG product, and we apply it here. So we basically reworked the back end of the dash to be able to take the larger diameter cooling tube and then made it up to this turbine vent. We replaced the plastic vents, and they just have that really satisfying ball bearing detent. You hear it click, you feel the metal construction. It's awesome. It takes it up another level for me, so I really like that feature.
And then it looks like carbon fiber there.
Yep.
Is that real carbon fiber?
This is actually a hydrographically printed dash that we did in like a carbon finish, a gloss carbon finish. We have the ability to do real carbon in-house if somebody wants to do that and match a very specific weave. So we do all our own in-house composite work, so that's an option as well.
Yes, sir. And these screens are a little bit bigger than the previous body style Prevost Featherlights I've seen. What's going on here?
Yeah, so dual touch screens here, and these tie in with the screen that you have over at the co-pilot seat. They have integrated RV GPS, so you can actually input destinations from the co-pilot seat and make changes. They've got all of the camera functionality, so we've got remote control, rear view camera, and then we've got full 360 camera and 4-position, forward-facing, rear and side cameras that automatically toggle to the lower screen, like when you engage the turn signal. So you can keep up your GPS here, camera separately, or mix them up. I mean, it's fully reconfigurable, customizable to whatever you'd like to see. And then when you're parked, you can actually bring up a video on this and have sound. Like if you're sitting waiting somewhere, you can bring up ball game, listen to it over the cockpit speakers and watch it here until you get underway.
So what else is going on here with the new Prevost dash?
So the new Prevost dash is just loaded with features. It's a new TFT full color screen here so that you can page through so many different menus, get so much information off of this that didn't used to be fully available. So I can just page through, look at all kind of what my economy is looking like, remaining oil life. It tells you what the cooling fans are doing. So remember the electric fan drive system. I can see, like right now we're not cranked, so we're at 0% fan usage, but shows you how much your charge air cooler fan sets are running, how much the radiator cooling fans are running. You can look at your high side, low side pressure on your air conditioning system here from the dash. So it's just battery voltages, state of charge. It's loaded with information. If you want to dig in and find out more about what's going on with the coach, you've got it right there. We also option this, all of our new Featherlights, we option with the transmission retarder, the Allison transmission retarder. So that is here on this stalk. You see an indicator on the dash on what position. So this is 6th position, can bring it back up to 1, and then you can actually shut it off from the end of the stalk. Really nice. So nice new control sets on the wheel for audio controls. You're up and down on volume, skip, source, cruise control here from this side of the wheel as well, and telephone and hang up, mute. And then you've got electric horn or city horn here, and this big center is air horn.
Nice.
So you used to have to toggle between whether you wanted air or electric horn, city horn. So that's built in there. All new switching from Prevost, and you see we integrate some of our features here as well. So you've got 2 sets of shade switching for sunshades when you're stationary. We have our bus merge here. So it's got a safety switch on it, but you can engage the bus merge. That's if you need to put house battery power back to the chassis battery to get you cranked in a pinch. Unloading tag axle here, so you can manually unload that tag axle, but it also is set up to automatically lift the tag. If the system sees over a certain amount of wheel cut below 15 miles an hour, it'll unweight the rear tag axle for you automatically, so that you don't have that extra workload of saying, oh God, I'm in traffic, it's tight, I need to lift it, I forgot. It'll automatically unload for you, which is really nice. A start button now instead of a key start. So you've got an ignition switch here to fire up the systems, and then push button start, which is pretty common in the high-end automotive now.
Push button start definitely makes life easier.
Yeah.
But I also like that you do have that rear engine start just as an alternative. For some reason that push button doesn't work.
Yep.
Are you still able to start the coach at the rear and still drive it?
You can, but then you have to turn because it wants to see that you're locked out up front before you rear start. So you can go back and start the coach and then put the control back over to the cockpit. So our little carbon fiber dash extends around. We've got another cup holder built in here, and then we've got a marine style, one of these grippy inductive chargers here. So it's really helpful to have that, not have to plug in the phone. So this charges the phone via induction. Then just over my left shoulder, this is our intuitive control. So this is home screen for primary functions that I'd want to use here at the cockpit. So you've got, your lighting master, all of these lights in this area. I've got the ability to stow my satellite dish, open my stepwell cover, lock and unlock the doors. Then I can page over and actually control all of the air conditioners. I can control AV in the back. If you left something playing, the television on or something, you can kill it from here. Everything I can look at. I can look at all my electricals. I can look at my tank monitors, and then just hit the feather in the middle, get you back to your home screen. So again, intuitive control. The idea is as easy or easier than even a smartphone. Everybody's used to carrying this in their pocket with the little icons on it. So that's pretty much what this is modeled after. It should be self-explanatory to even the newest user.
Yeah, very user-friendly. When I walked into this coach and looked at that panel, I can do all of the main stuff right from that home screen.
Definitely, and you can actually do it from every screen in the coach. Has immense capability at every screen. We can do AV, heating and air conditioning, everything from every screen. So it's got amazing functionality.
And then I see another cup holder here, and like a driver compartment.
Another driver storage compartment here, a cup holder. Then you've got a locking dash drawer here. So you've got PowerPoints and storage here, a remote control for these dash monitors if you wish, your entry door lock and unlock, and this is the Prevost driver's over-the-road air conditioning system here. So this controls driver and co-pilot air system. It's a new digital system that's been really slick.
I know a lot of the Featherlite owners out there hire drivers and fly in private to different locations. We did a video called Private Jets and Prevost back when I was still detailing motorhomes, where showing off some of the lifestyle of some of your owners. I'm curious, is Rusty going to drive this coach himself, or is he going to have a driver?
I think he'll do some of both, but he will definitely drive this coach himself, especially, I think around the North Carolina mountains and around the beaches in North and South Carolina when he's traveling, going to see grandkids and friends. But I would expect one of his buddies is probably going to drive it all the way out to the Black Hills.
Yeah, for the Sturgis.
Yes,
so that makes sense
for that. But yeah, he'll definitely get some seat time on this.
He's going to be comfortable in this cockpit.
He is. I can't wait. He's going to be happy. And one of the other things we did, the light colored leathers, we actually have a special application that we put on these seats so that if you happen to have like those dry blue denim, it will not not transfer and stain this white leather. So from the tannery, it actually has like a commercial grade or contract grade finish on it, and then we add another proprietary coating on it that makes it resist any of those dyes from garments.
Yeah, white always looks the best, but I know the denim likes to color transfer.
It doesn't look good when it starts to turn blue.
No, sir. No, sir. I'm also noticing these lighter color, almost like a marine vinyl material here.
Yeah, Andrew, that's exactly what that is. That's a Chilowich marine woven vinyl. So we've got these non-skid rubber-backed mats that are just custom made to protect the wood flooring on the entryway. A lot of people don't utilize them, but I like not feeling like I need to pull my shoes off to come in. So we always deliver every Featherlite coach with a custom set of these woven vinyl mats.
Yeah, very nice. Then the owner can remove them for easy cleaning.
Sure.
Really nice touch that you guys did up front here.
Thanks.
And am I seeing a subwoofer right behind the driver's seat? Is that what that is?
It is, yeah. So this thing, again, when we are listening to music, we like being able to rock. So it's got speakers above, speakers on the sides, plus a subwoofer. So this thing will kick it when you're going down the road.
Now I've seen some other Featherlites, and I don't know if I recall seeing a subwoofer up there. Have you guys done some upgrades on the stereos for the driver recently?
Yeah, definitely, because I drive them a lot myself, and I like the music. So, you know, some of the earlier Featherlites, they didn't have the best quality sound system up front, and that's something I really wanted. I think you need the subwoofer, especially with the amount of volume we have here as far as interior space. We needed something with some punch. Adding the subwoofer with these 6.5s, I think, you know, it makes a really nice package.
Yeah, now we're not going to be able to hear it for copyright purposes, but do you think we can just turn it on? I'm just curious what it...
Let's check it out. Let's see. I'll do some radio.
Yeah, our microphones, and a lot of people are watching this video on their cell phones and stuff, so it's not going to transpire, but if you ever have the opportunity to listen to the Featherlite Dash radio, definitely top notch.
Yeah, I think it rocks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed you have a cabinet overhead there.
So we've got overhead cabinets on each side. You know, they're shallow, but they have these really nice flush mount. It hinges at the back, so press there. Yep. Open that up, and you're going to see inside, that is the LTE router, cellular-based internet router up there. And also your HD cam switching system is up here. And this has actually got the Dish Network tuner in there. This coach was specified with a satellite television system, as well as the InMotion Starlink.
And then I'm noticing on this side too, I also have a panel over here to control, you know, lighting, shades, you know, step area lights, step cover, all the go-to stuff. You can lock and unlock the doors, and then we can toggle through, you know, climate control, you know, monitor battery voltage, tank levels, all right here from this small panel.
Yeah, page through a couple of them. So that's all the different settings for the screen. That's your tank levels, electricals,
generator.
Yeah, so if you go back to electricals, you can choose. Let's take a look at like the transfer switch. That tells us if are we on shore power? Yeah, we are. It's active. We're at 121 volts on line 1, 118 on line 2, and what kind of amperage you're pulling. Pop over to the little engine icon. That's basically mechanicals. That's your hydraulics. You can operate your slide outs, your awnings, all the locks, your water pump, your air compressor.
Bay locks, entry door locks.
And what's the one on the top left?
Lighting?
No, it was actually drawer locks.
Oh,
yeah, hit that. So that,
drawer locks.
Yeah, so go ahead, hit it. You can lock. Just
wow.
Locked all the drawers on board and unlock. So those drawers actually lock automatically when you take the park brake off.
Oh, cool.
So I learned that the hard way. We have locking drawers, but if I forgot to press the button, I'd take off and hit my first on-ramp, things come open. So you take the park brake off, it automatically locks all of the load carrying drawers on board.
But if you do want to unlock them after they've already been locked, you can manually unlock them and access your drawers and make sure you relock them before you make it.
Or you can, if you go straight, you want to choose to leave them unlocked, you can, but it's one of those things that keep you from forgetting that. And it's an awesome feature. The other thing that does, it lets you use true soft close slides without having to have a secondary latching mechanism. You know, a lot of times you have these soft closed drawers, they come in and they don't go all the way because you have to press them again to get them to close.
Oh, very nice. I haven't seen anyone else do that.
That came out of yachting industry in New Zealand, that system. So we've been doing that for about 10 years. We've had a few people try to do their own version. I don't think they've been very successful. So that's another little Featherlite secret that's one of our hallmarks. So that's that intuitive control panel. You can basically do any function on the coach from your seat right there. So you can drop like the
Can I open
TV
the TV here? Yeah. So Salon open,
TV.
the 4K
All right,
TV.
Now it's going to say make sure nothing's in the way.
Yep, confirm.
Now open, hit open. There you go. So you're going to get your 55-inch flat screen. Open up, and we have really worked hard for ingress and egress to be able to get past this flip down flat screen, and I think the guys have done a great job. This used to always be a real challenge with the geometry here because it turned into a head knocker, but it's no problem to stand here. You used to have to, you know, bend or do whatever, but it's really not in the aisleway. So really happy with how they did this. And this is a really heavy duty marine grade mount. Again, comes out of the yachting industry. It's got to stand up going bouncing over the waves, and it has the, you know, built-in locking system. Been really pleased with this. It's not cheap, but it's really good.
Yes, sir. And then when we close that, it just looks extremely flush. You would never know that there's a TV housed up there in the ceiling. And I've got to compliment too your front end moldings, the front caps here. This is a different look than we saw on the previous body style. Did this all get redesigned for the new body style?
Everything was redesigned. What we did do, Andrew, is we really tried to, Prevost spent a fortune redoing the ergonomics on this whole entryway and the driver's area. So we tried to retain as much as we could of their system, like with the integrated glove box and handrailway. So we've basically taken all the OEM Prevost parts out, trimmed them the way they need to be done so that we can wrap them all in real high-end full grain leather.
Coming back into the Salon, now this being a quad slide, how many coaches does Featherlite build as a quad slide versus triples, doubles?
We almost evenly split double, triple, quad. So usually the mix is pretty similar, and quite often we'll do them in pairs. Like we'll have 2 quads going through the line, 2 triples, 2 doubles, 2 quads, and then we'll mix it up sometimes depending on what the customers are asking for. But a lot of times we will set our shell delivery expectations and orders with Prevost is somewhat like that. We'll expect 2 quads, 2 triples, 2 doubles. So pretty even mix.
Okay. Now this being a quad, we've got tons of living space in this Salon. Too much living space for the camera to even get in one shot here because it's so wide. But what all is going on in the Salon here?
Over here where you are, Andrew, is actually the flat floor slide. So if you'll notice, this really nice recliner is sitting over inside the slide room. And it's hard to see it, but you can just see where the line where the flat floor is that's out in the slide from the main salon, but it blends in really nicely, gives you a bunch of usable space, and you've got an awesome place to hang out, watch TV, and also to work from here. So this has a pull-out laptop drawer, so it's got a PowerPoint here that's built in, so you can plug your laptop in and actually leave it there. It can live there. Fold up, you've got you know, all your drawer storage here, officing from this coach. This is a printer drawer with a cutout side.
And I like that Featherlite. I've got to point this out. When we pull this out, not only do we have dovetail construction, but you also have the Featherlite logo engraved in the drawer. Is that in every drawer? I've got to pull this one out.
Yeah, so that's a printer drawer, but every full-size drawer is going to have this. Probably on your side. We'll look at it in the Galley as well. Every full-size drawer is going to have the Featherlite logo laser etched.
Very cool.
Yeah, so this just gives you a ton of capability to be able to work from here. There's storage everywhere you can get it. Yeah, there's your Featherlite laser etch logo, dovetail construction. It's got the hidden undermount slides, the soft close mechanism. So just very high quality European hardware. And again, since they'll lock themselves, you don't have that situation where the drawer stops and won't close. It closes all the way on its own. Then they lock when you get underway. So just really, really nice and comfortable setup. And I love this big new recliner that's specified. So super comfortable. And
yes, sir.
Get the big 55-inch TV opened up and let's get the races on.
Yes, sir. Yeah, very versatile. Or if you want to use it as your office desk chair, you've got that set up too.
Absolutely. I know Rusty, works from the road when he's on the coach, so that's a key feature for people like him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's really busy with his car dealerships and with the motorcycle business, Southern Country Customs.
Oh, yes, sir. He doesn't stop.
Yeah, definitely.
And now, does the sofa turn into sleeping at all?
It does. So this is a custom-made electric jackknife sleeper. Beautiful materials, all leather. Again, it's got the special treatment on it so it won't take the color off of jeans. But you push a button and this comes down as a jackknife sleeper. Nice little place to lay down, especially I like to use the jackknife sleeper when I'm going down the road, or my kids like to jump on this while we're underway because they can lay back, watch the TV, and watch out the windows.
And these ottomans have a very cool style, that coastal style. You really
they've got that beachy feel to them. They're pretty lightweight, easy to stow, and just comfortable.
Now this is something really different. The positioning of this, it's almost set like a coffee table here.
That's exactly what it is. So this is like our version of a high-low table. So we basically have it in like the coffee table or cocktail table position, and then you push a button and it'll come right back up and act as a dining table. But we felt like this is a nice option when you're, with a larger group entertaining, having coffee or drinks. You're in the conversation rather than sitting behind, a full height dining table.
And I see some switches here. I'm assuming this is
Yep, you
can
hit
I put
the
it
table.
up here?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
that brings it in, and this brings the table up and into the dining position. So the booth, this is one of the things that Rusty wanted specific. He liked this blue fabric and this particular leather. And then this dinette actually has hidden storage built in throughout underneath. So you don't see drawer pulls, but all of these upholstered leather panels hide really nice deep drawers for storage.
I still see that Featherlite logo even on the drawers below the booth as well.
That's right. We try to have that little accent wherever we can. You've got storage overhead here. Nice hardware on these, lights that automatically turn on when you open the door into that section, and a nice soft like a mohair style lining inside of these cabinets.
And do these decor pieces stay in place while it's going down the road?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've got some of that special putty to keep them in place, just so you don't have to put them away.
So does Featherlite, fully deck these out? I see a lot of cool decor touches. That's all done by the Featherlite design team?
Exactly, yep. So we include an extensive design, interior design package that has all the accessories. I really like the way that the team has pulled together accents, just make the whole thing a cohesive package.
And then we can tuck this table in more so that when the slide rooms are in,
that's right,
you're going to have more aisle space going down the road.
And then the table will actually rotate as well. So it's got a switch system under here where you can rotate this, you can slide it back and forth, and it can also rotate around if you wanted it to be sideways.
Oh, cool.
So just lots of options, lots of different possibilities depending on, what you're doing. You might be crafting or something like that and say, I want it spun this way, and it'll do that.
Maybe playing some cards and you want to pull up some of the ottomans. And I see that this seat actually, I thought that was fixed, but I saw a button right here and that's just tucking right in there.
So that's really helpful when all the slides are in. So when you're opened up, pull that out, gives you extra seat here at the end of the table.
So you don't have to jack around with housing, other ottomans and seat cushions back in the rear closet. It's all the press of a button.
Electric just slides right out.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And I've got to compliment your design team on the different countertop surfaces and lots of countertop space. But they break it up nicely with some cool decor, cool tile backsplashes. Again, that backsplash really brings that coastal vibe into this coach. But coming back to the galley here, what's all going on in your galley?
So you've got a really nicely appointed and spacious galley here. It's got the Viking convection microwave oven. You've got a 2-burner induction cooktop here, and then tons of drawer storage. And these are, again, all of the really high-end European hardware. You'll see every drawer in our galley has the laser etched Featherlite logo. It's all dovetail construction. The European drawer glides are hidden underneath, and these are the soft close type slides.
And that's on both sides. That Featherlite logo, you didn't skimp and put it on this side. Let's come around here. I got to show you guys this. No matter what side you're standing on, you're going to see that cool little detail that just takes it to the next level.
Yeah, and then you've got like a high friction drawer liner in here. You've got your cutlery tray built in, and then the large drawer below is actually outfitted with a Fisher-Paykel dishwasher. You've got a flip out beneath the sink for your scrubbers and sponges. The covers for the sink actually stow underneath, and you've got a nice sized trash can slide out. Up top, more storage, adjustable shelves with built-in automatically switched lighting inside.
It looks like you've got some of Rusty's favorite snacks ready for him already.
We do, and we definitely always include some Virginia peanuts.
Nice, nice. Chocolate covered peanuts too.
You got those too. Those are addicting. Be careful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So as we come back, this has also been a big fan favorite. So I'd say probably 70% of our clients have pets. You've got the Dyson Animal, so it lives here. We got the Dyson Closet built in. You got your Swiffer in here, so you're ready to jump out and Swiffer up and vacuum behind those pets. Back here, a really beautiful double door, French door style refrigerator.
Now, does that lock when we lock the rest of the drawers, or is it a separate locking mechanism?
It's a separate lock for this. It actually just has a physical lock on it. So we used to run an electromagnetic on these, but it really wasn't necessary. These are 15-pound catches, and they really do a nice job holding the refrigerator doors closed. The same deal on the freezer drawer, and this has the ice maker option as well. And one other special request from the client is built-in wine cooler. So we hit a wine cooler here.
And then we've got some more storage above. This could be like a coffee maker area if you want to put a coffee maker here.
Yeah, this is most popular. We call this the Galley Annex. So this is additional counter space, and you've got 120 volt back there. So most often we'll see the coffee machine here.
Maybe a Keurig or an espresso, something like that.
Definitely.
Well, now going into the middle of the coach here, is this a bath and a half coach?
This is a bath and a half. And our, what we call the half bath or the day head, is really spacious. This has got a tremendous amount of space in it. It's got really nice accent lighting. Really a nice setup. Not at all cutting corners or decontenting that half bath. It's got all the good stuff in it.
Yeah, actually here, I'm gonna walk in and you're not joking about the width. I've been in a lot of different motorhome half baths, and I can put my arms basically, I have my back to the wall, and I'm not even touching the door here. So very wide half bathroom compared to other coaches I've been in, and I love that continued coastal design with the lighter countertops and the bowl sink with that kind of aqua colored tile backsplash. Looks like we have a nice medicine cabinet here with glass adjustable shelving. And then when we fire up these lights, a lot brighter inside of this coach, but still with these light coastal colors, even with just the accent lighting in here, it was still plenty of light for me. And then you've got plenty of room around your head here. And this is beautiful, the way they finished out this vent with these panels on the ceiling. Just every little detail on this coach is well done. And then these hinges too. What type of hinges are you using?
Those are the hidden flush mount sauce hinges. When they are closed, there's no exposed hinge. It's just completely flush and clean.
Now, across from the half bathroom here, what else do we have going on in this coach?
All right, so you've got the big refrigerator freezer here, and then this is a massive, massive pantry. So take a look at those pull-out drawers, Andrew. They got your favorite features.
Yeah, extremely well. Well, the chocolate chip cookies are my favorite feature,
right.
But
got your Featherlite logos, laser etch. Again, the dovetail construction, the soft close, and then really plentiful lighting built into that pantry area.
Yeah, and again, those hinges, when you look at just how robust those are, very well built. You can really feel that quality.
So almost an oversized pantry, but I love the storage space. Behind that, we've got a laundry center. So this is a bifold door that opens up to expose a stacked full-size washer dryer. The idea being set up where you can easily take a load out, put it on the bed to fold. The dryer is a high power dryer in this coach. So a lot of people are using a 120 volt dryer. This is a 240 volt dryer. So this thing really works. So the stateroom is separated from the salon area with an electric pocket door. This is proprietary to Featherlite. It's got built-in safety. It'll automatically reverse itself if it sees or feels something in the way. But if you'll notice, it's programmed where it speeds up and then it slows down. It's a soft close. So these doors don't slam like a pneumatic door. They're slow on the open and close circuit with built-in safety.
And then we've got a full-length mirror on this side of the door. So a nice full-length mirror when you're getting ready, when you have your bedroom closed off. Always nice to have that, but a lot of people don't like too many mirrors in their coach, so you kind of tuck that mirror away when you're not using it as well.
It's there when you need it, and it kind of hides out of sight, out of mind when you're not using it.
Yes, sir. Now, this is a huge bedroom. I really like the design style. I'm noticing two larger closets up front here.
Yeah. So, again, opposing slides. So this is a quad. Both slides open up to make this a huge living area. You've got a big hanging closet there. So it's hanging. If you look in the back, there's a built-in wall safe. So, I got really annoyed with these little portable saves that people kept plunking down in the bottom of closets, taking up the space, your shirts drag on it. So we actually stud that out and sink, a proper wall safe into the back of that closet. You also notice the whole closet interior is cedar lined, as is the big closet on this side. So it's all cedar lined, and then you've got lighted closet rods so that it lights up, whatever you have hanging in here. So two really big closets over really big, deep drawers.
Oh, huge drawer, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest bedroom drawers I've ever seen in a motorhome.
So we've also got a really large drawer for bedding underneath the bed. And then you've got more storage over here in the slide out. Television lift here. So it lifts up when you're watching TV.
Just press a button? Or?
Yep, sure thing. So just go to the AV page and choose the stateroom lift. It's going to ask you to make sure that there's nothing in the way.
Yeah, very user-friendly. That's the first time I looked at that panel and I could find it right away. So.
That's good. That's what I like to hear. We call it an intuitive control, so you can come in and pick it up just like that.
And I've got to compliment having a bench in the bedroom. We all need somewhere to just sit down and tie our shoes.
Yes.
I think every motorhome should have that great feature.
And storage built in underneath and on the side, so you've got nice drawers underneath. You've got storage on the sides here with adjustable shelves. So just getting that storage in everywhere we can. Nice size television, but I love being able to just sink it away when I'm not using it and have all of the view from that big Prevost window back here.
Yes, sir. And then the Sonos soundbar tucked above the window, so it's not protruding your view there.
Yeah, so that's the idea, is have the sound bar. It's got the big sound bar, the big subwoofer under the bed, so you can get the full immersive experience. But when the TV is tucked away, you still want to hear music. It didn't go down with the television.
And then we saw those other large drawers, but you also have some good-sized drawers, deep drawers below this closet. Again, that soft close or that automatic close. Yeah, very deep drawers here. And then some good countertop space. Bedside, it looks like a full king-size bed.
This is a full king-size bed, and it's actually a split adjustable. So you see now we've got the head just slightly elevated like a reading position, but you can also lift the foot independent on each side. The head, the foot can all be controlled independently, and you can tell it to go in a full up position, which I like to do. Like during the day, I'll tell it to go full up, and it draws the foot of the bed towards the head and gives you even more walk space here. So this is a really nice feature to have. The other thing is it gives you the opportunity to move through the coach if you need to when you're all closed up. Put it in that full up position and it'll let you shimmy by when the slides are closed.
Even with the quad slide, with the two slides, you can still get through?
That's right.
I've got to point out that accent lighting, more indirect lighting above the bed. So much cool, subtle lighting, above the closets here. Indirect lighting below the cabinets on the floors. And are these heated floors?
Yes, they are. Yeah, so we can actually heat the tile floor in both baths on this coach. And then he didn't take the option for heat on the floor, but that's available if you want it.
But we heard about another Featherlite that you did, that you actually heated the floor of the shower.
Yes.
And a bench seat as well. So.
Exactly, depending on how much heat you want. So they chose to heat the master bath tile floor in this coach, but I know one of the coaches we recently produced, the customer wanted to heat the shower floor and the shower bench. So if you want that, we can do it.
All depends on the owner's needs and wants.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll customize for whatever their needs are.
Yes, sir. And then the bedding, really cool bedding, all done by the Featherlite team?
Yeah, this is all from our design team. They have a real knack for pulling together the feel, the color palette, and making it work.
All right, we've got one more door to go through. Let's see what's back here.
Okay, this is the rear master bath, and it is spacious. This thing has got a ton of room, and it's got probably one of the biggest showers in the business. I love this place. Got a huge counter space back here. This is all real glass mirror. You know, we typically use acrylic mirror throughout most areas in the coach to save weight, but back here to really get the optical clarity, we're running real glass mirrors. When you look inside, you see adjustable glass shelves in the medicine cabinet, and then you've got the two mirrors that'll come together, you know, so you can get a look at, you know, what you got going on.
And then when we close this back door, is that a full-length mirror as well?
This is a full-length mirror on the inside.
And then this tile work on this shower is just really catching my eye. Very simple but cool design.
You've got the rain shower head, the handset, you've got a bench built in. We actually do a slot drain here, and then you've got a big niche here that you can use to put your shampoos and soaps. Also gives you a little bit of extra swing room, honestly, and then kind of a nice shaped glass enclosure to make the shower feel more open when you're in here.
And that's such a big shower. I think two people could comfortably shower in there together.
Yeah, and you've got the thick architectural glass enclosure on the shower. It's got enough water pump flow and pressure to run the rain shower head and the handset simultaneously. You've got a big sink, and then just below it, a really deep drawer that's actually cut out to handle the plumbing space. Another drawer below, and then we've got under counter storage here. Toilet tissue there on the inside of the door. We're really just trying to make the most of all the space we have available underneath this engine cover area back here.
And again, indirect lighting glowing off those tile floors below the cabinets. Lots of indirect lighting. There's even lighting in the shower head as well.
I think it looks pretty cool when you've got the spotlights turned off and just this accent light. I really like the look and feel of that.
Jimmy, I really appreciate you and appreciate Rusty letting us see the interior of this coach. Just
Absolutely.
An incredible opportunity. Yeah. Now, if someone wants to custom build a new Featherlite coach, or maybe purchase one of the pre-owned Featherlite coaches that is available, who should they get a hold of?
Contact us at featherlitecoaches.com. Our sales manager, Mark Eisenhart, will get you all the information you need, and we'll connect you with one of our sales professionals, Jeff Williams or Eric Woolley. Happy to show you our total selection of available new coaches, upcoming build slots, and pre-owned. Our dealership down in Florida, in Sanford, Florida, Featherlite Coaches of Florida, will have pre-owned units in stock.
Awesome, Jimmy. Well, thanks again for the opportunity. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah. It's always good to visit with you, and I really have to thank the Wallaces for letting us get this sneak peek of their new coach, the Blue Deuce, before they take delivery.
Yeah, it really is an honor. We appreciate Rusty and Patty, and greatly appreciate all of you out there as well subscribing to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.
Thanks.